So welcome. We're here today in front of the Parliament, the Assemblée Nationale in Quebec City, and I'm with Jonathan Marchand. My name is Yann Grenier. I'm a post PhD fellow at NYU's Center for Disability Studies, and I've been working with disability groups and people with disabilities for a long time now. And I've met Jonathan through my dissertation research on the ontology of mobility and immobility. And so, Jonathan, so what is all about? Like, what's the struggle today?
Yeah, well, I decided to take direct action to be heard by the government. Um, People with disabilities are being addressed in Quebec for many generations, and we're being warehoused almost systematically into institutions. And we don't want to live in institutions anymore. We want to live in the community, and we want to implement a new self-directed personal assistance program. And this is what it's all about. We request, we demand our full citizenship.
So, you're also a hardcore punk rock person. So it brings you into other things. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah,
Your political opinions and your political stances about other issues. So
yeah.
you're 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 having this fight against the government for your own autonomy, your own right to existence. But how do you see the right of others? How do you see the other struggle? For example, um, in regard to race, gender, animal liberation, ecological issues. So, can you talk to me about your own stances on this?
Yeah, well, I'm an anarchist. I've been, I'm a vegan as well. I'm anti-fascist, anti-racist. I believe that my struggle is just one amongst many, and the rights of the human rights of everyone needs to be respected, no matter the gender, the race, or the class. So I think institutions, for example, for people with disabilities are not necessary. It's a system that's made to address us, and we can draw many parallels with my struggle and the struggle of other people. For example, I know what it's like to be treated like an object, to be used, to be neglected, to be abused, and we should not do those things to animals either. It's not necessary, it's cruel, it's evil, and it needs to stop. And I believe we're also facing an ecological collapse. And I believe we need to take the power back, basically, and we need to tear down all structures of power that are not legitimate.
So you're bringing two issues amongst many. You've been asking for the demedicalization of your body and the demedicalization of your situation
Yeah,
to approach it in terms of right and autonomy and to regain your full existence. That's one thing, but also um, you've talked about the ecological crisis. So I would like to hear you about those two topics. How does the ecological crisis have an effect on people with disabilities right now, but also in the future? And how is it possible to bring disability out of the medical field and put it into social and political terms?
well, we people with disabilities often, not always, but often depend on supply chains, to get medical material, for example, to get assistance in our daily living. So we're dependent on the fabric of society, And with the ecological crisis, it puts a strain on the support systems that we use to live. So, as we've seen with COVID-19, and when the system is stressed, the most so-called vulnerable feel the effect a little more strongly. So, I mean, everyone is dependent on one another, and everyone is dependent on nature as well. And people need to realize that if we can't live in the same and in a world where um, the ecology can thrive, then we are doomed as a species. About demedicalization, how do we demedicalize the disability? Well, we need to develop new models, social models that will allow us to be included in society, to be able to participate and to contribute like everyone else. We are ordinary citizens. We are not sick people, and we don't want to be powerless in our lives. We don't want professionals to decide what's good for us. We don't want the state to decide what's good for us either. We want to manage our own assistance. And the way we do that is quite simple. We just use the money that's used to support us, and we use that money to manage our own assistance. So we decide who's going to help us out, when, how, and at which place. So that's a model that's used throughout the world. In the United States, it started more than 45 years ago, but we don't have it in Quebec, and that's essential to our emancipation. So I think we're making headways here. It's a bit late in the game, but it's necessary. We cannot wait for the government to give us our freedom. We need to take it into our own hands and demand our full citizenship.
Well, thank you, Jonathan, to be with us, and we continue to follow your struggle and to support you with it. So,
Thank you.